And then
Right on time.
when the mayor shows up, the village administrator show up, they come to my float and they're like, "Oh, this is a very nice float." And I'm like, "Thank you." And then my mom's like, "Thank you, with my idea." And they're like, "Oh," and I was like, "Yes, it was," you know. And then, at 10:30 the parade starts, and I was such a stereotypical douchebag, and that's okay. Gina called me out on it. Sarah, I was not going to tell you, but I'm going to now. But Gina said that if I would tell you that you'll be on her side. But we passed out pens. We passed out lip balm, berry flavored lip balm,
Okay.
and koozies.
Okay.
I gave all the men the koozies. And she
Yeah.
was very upset with me.
I like a koozie. Eric likes lip balm.
She was like, "Why are you passing all the men koozies, Jordan?" I was like, "'Cause
I
they
prefer
drink beer."
unscented lip balm,
Yeah,
please.
mixed berry is a little strong for me.
That's a
but
bit. That's like a lip smacker, and I'm just not
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, not so much.
I really want to try like Dr. Pepper lip smacker. I've seen those.
The
Really,
OG.
really throw it back to the
Yeah.
90s.
Hello, and thank you very much for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. You can download many more episodes at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com.
To prepare for this, I asked my wife, "Hey, do we want to show Riley Twister with us?" She's like, "No, that's bad." And I was like, "It is?" And I was trying to think what was bad about it. Weather, So I watched the movie, and Riley watched it with us last night. She thought it was great. Tonight we're talking about Twister. Eric, how the hell are you doing?
More excited to talk about this director, Jan de Bont here, who we all know from Speed fame. That was his
Yes.
big opening right there. But he also did Speed 2 Cruise Control. And he
Yes.
also did The Haunting, which we reviewed last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Wow. It's been that long already. And with that being said, Sarah, how do you feel comparing The Haunting to Twister and to Speed?
Wow, I was not prepared for that comparison. I was prepared to respond to Jordan. The first, I have told this story before. When we watched Dirty Dancing a couple of years
Yeah.
ago, the
Yeah.
first time I saw Twister was when a babysitter brought us Twister and Dirty Dancing, and my brother was at an age where where Twister was too scary, so we put Dirty Dancing on so he would fall asleep. We watched that, and then we watched Twister after for a double feature.
Uh-huh.
But I'm trying to think. I think my brother was maybe a couple years younger than Riley, so like the storm at the beginning was really scary.
Right.
Especially like where we live. We get tornadoes, we get bad weather. It's kind of a reality. So I'm surprised that Gina let Riley see this movie of the ones recently that she has banned her from.
Well, again, I have accidentally took her to see Thor 4.
Yeah.
And she's seen Jurassic World 3. I mean, again, what's scary about this movie? Weather?
Yeah.
I mean, I get nervous when the weather's bad and
Oh, I get nervous too. Like
that.
anybody. Yeah, anybody would, Sarah. But again, it's a movie. Tornadoes don't do what they do in this movie.
This is very true, and we have lots to say about that.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. This is camp. But I will say, still holds up for me. This movie came out in 95, 96. My dad took me to go see this in theaters. This movie was very infamous for blowing speakers because of the deep bass rumbles and all that stuff. I loved the movie then. I didn't watch it for a few years later. Got it on VHS. Loved it again. It's probably been a good 10 years since I've seen this, maybe longer. But I was excited to come back to this. And it was one of those movies where it's like, okay, I can just skip and watch the scenes, right? Because I've seen this 100 times. No, I didn't. We watched the whole thing through. Riley was so excited. I'm not making this up. She was like, when's the big one coming? Because we told her it was F1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Uh-huh.
She was into it. She was completely into this.
Eric,
do you guys share my – come on, you guys share this?
I think so.
Yes,
It's a good thriller to ease into it, to start off into – that part. I'm trying to see when this movie came out.
96.
Well, the not the year, the month, because 96 was a huge year for movies. This is peak blockbuster summer era. This is where you have a lot of movies going. Independence Day came out in 96.
Yep, Independence Day came out.
Scream came out in 96. Jordan's favorite, Matilda. Fargo came out in 96. Yeah, so you got a lot of good stuff, a lot of good blockbusters that are coming out at this time, and people are eating it up. And so why not when you get to something like Twister, where it is got an all-star cast, right? Helen Hunt, for some reason, Hollywood chose her to be on the rise, and so she's on her way here with her mediocre looks and even more mediocre acting.
Whatever. She because didn't she get nominated or won the Oscar for a few years before this with As Good as It Gets?
Yeah, I think she.
So that's why.
Yeah, well, she's cashing in on that. And that was the year after, I believe. That good as it gets. This was the big one, right? Because she.
Oh, this was the big one. Okay.
Yeah, this was her big transition because she was TV. She was
Mad
About You with Paul
Mhm.
Reiser. Yeah, and so I'm sure she did her odd jobs and movies here and TV there. But I think it was through that success that she jumped up a bit more and became right here looking at Twister. Castaway. That's right. She was the mom or the
Oh,
wife,
yeah.
right?
Wife. Uh-huh.
I thought she was absolutely fine in this movie, and also not only her acting but her looks too. I thought she was a beautiful woman. What are you complaining about? Mediocre.
That's not a complaint. That's an observation.
Oh, okay. I thought she was completely fine. I was happy with her. I liked Bill Paxton.
You
a
go
lot.
right ahead, man. Just saying, but yeah, she is a very obtainable woman in this, right? She's a little bit crazy, in with the company that she keeps, but sure. It seems like in her contract for all of her movies, it said Helen Hunt, blonde, must wear white shirt, tank top, at all times,
Mhm.
because
She
this
will
movie,
get wet.
yeah, as we know, As Good as It Gets. There's a big scene in there. And yeah, so
That's okay.
what women want, right? I'm sure.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Hurts.
Though,
Okay.
right?
They
Yeah.
want to not wear white tank tops with no bra in a film where they're getting wet.
Yeah, they do that
Tell
for
you that.
nighttime.
Sorry,
Yes.
and I do have a bit of a judgmental bias, like her and like Keira Knightley, who kind of who was I can't think of her name. She's American Horror Story. Sarah Paulson.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Where their entire career is based off of one reactionary look, where it's just mouth agape, eyes confused, almost to like a point of crying, but it just seems to be kind of the same thing. Owen
I
Wilson
like
gets
Sarah
big off
Paulson.
of WoW, and that's just yeah, I get you, but like her and like Leah Michelle have one bit. They do the same thing over and over again, where they get dramatic and then they are about to cry, but then they don't kind of cry. It's just the same. I get it. It works. It's typecasting, though, I think.
I was a big fan of this movie when this was coming out because I remember, and I even wanted to make sure that this wasn't like one of those like not a Mandela effect, maybe one of those where like you think it's something but it's not.
Yeah, Mandela effect.
Where for some reason I had it in my head that the trailer said from the producer of Jurassic Park and the director of Speed or something like that. Like they were pushing that. And some early posters that said that on the poster, like they were pushing Jurassic Park, which I mean, Jurassic Park came out 3 years before. This is big. This is big. We get Robin Hood himself in this movie. Right?
Mhm.
I mean, this is good. Bill Paxton, the late great Bill Paxton, in that beautiful ramp, which freaked me out because if people don't know yet, I work insurance, and in the beginning of the movie, where Helen Hunt's truck gets picked up by the tornado and crashes, and she goes, "That's a beautiful truck, Bill Paxton." He's like, "Great," and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "What kind of coverage you got? Liability only." I was like, "Oh, no!"
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, that's kind of an insurance joke. So now I said at the beginning of this review that I said to my wife, "What's there not to show the 7-year-old to be afraid of weather? Is this movie scary? Is this movie really supposed to be scary? Is it just supposed to be a drama piece?" I'm not saying this to be cheeky. Like I'm literally asking because I don't see this movie as terrifying.
It's a thriller.
Is it a thriller though? Even
Yes.
Yeah.
It has
Have
thrilling
you been
scenes.
through a tornado before?
Close.
Okay.
Well,
Like,
Yeah.
Well,
It's
hold on.
scary.
Jordan's at the part right. Jordan, you must be in charge of the new Academy Awards right now, and we would put something as Twister as labeled as comedy, right? Just like The Bear was labeled as comedy for Golden Globes or something like that. Like this is, or The Martian as best comedy.
What? That was anyway. That was not nominated for comedy.
Oh, you're gonna be very disappointed in yourself when you check that Google, buddy. The Martian was nominated for best comedy musical, I believe.
Okay, look. What I'm trying to say is, I get that there's thrilling scenes, but I see this more as a drama. Like it's just strictly. I would say 90% of this is drama, right? Because Gina even said after the opening, right? We'll get into the opening, but after the opening, she was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. It takes like 30 minutes until we see a tornado. Like it takes its time.
It opens with a tornado.
You don't even see it.
You do. You literally see it take away the father. Did you guys watch the same movie?
That's why it's so scary.
Oh. Well, we don't know what happened. Movie guy rules. Don't give me that look, Sarah. Eric knows it's true. No body, no death.
I know the rules, but they did later say, her father died in this tornado.
No. We're going to go off of Jordan's title here. And then you know what? Twister 2, Jordan. You can make the script for this one.
The father comes back.
Yeah, 40 years later, Joe's dad comes back and he's like, guess what? I finally touched down on their tornado. It let me go. Yeah, and you can go ahead and write that story. I cannot wait to hear your idea for this one. Pitch it.
I'm just saying, well, I don't know. Twisters is coming out next year, so we'll see.
Dad, where have you been? Well, my body wasn't here, so I'm not dead. I get you, but that's at least when they mention it, like it's ended a 30-year time jump.
Okay, so all jokes aside, this opening I will give it a lot of compliments, right? So they're in Oklahoma, I believe, and he even says like I like how they allude to the big bad at the end, right? The big bad's the F5,
Yeah,
right? It's like the dad even says, "God bless home soundbar subwoofer systems," because there's stuff in this that I didn't even hear or remember as a child. Like the dad picks up baby Joe, and says they believe it's an F5. Like I didn't even hear that before. I was like, "Oh, that's cool," So like they're alluding to it. And the dad tries to save the family when the tornado's going over the storm cellar and gets sucked up. Question now: this is like the Rose Jack. She could have saved him thing. Was that necessary? Could have they survived if they went all the way back into the cellar? Or do you think
if they survived, if Joe and her mom survived, then he easily could have just let go of the door and just went back down in there. But again,
yeah, according to how tornadoes work in this movie, you can just hide under a bridge and the tornado will not pick you up. So he should have been safe.
Yeah, the tornado chose obviously Joe's father, and that's what we're dealing with. And so this is why we need someone who can speak to the tornadoes. We need like some sort of soothsaying, a doctor of some sort that that you cannot train. You can't teach this man. Okay, he's born with it. And that's
Bill Paxton.
And that's Bill Paxton right there.
Bill Paxton's amazing in this movie. I wanted to grow up to be Bill Paxton.
He certainly thinks so.
You don't think so?
Jordan, this movie, I would say very much like the blockbusters in its time, that any actor could go in here and yell for 3 weeks and get a little wet, get a little dirty, get the paycheck, and you would have had the exact same performance. There's there's very little you can do to screw this up.
Did you guys read who was casted and costume fitted and was on set for maybe a day or two and then bowed out because they didn't think it was for them?
Who's that?
Tom Hanks.
Ooh.
Tom Hanks.
Interesting.
That is IMDb trivia. I was reading it last night. He was casted. He was costume fitted. He didn't shoot any scenes. He was on set for a day, maybe 2 at the most. And then he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna do Apollo 13 or Apollo 11, whatever."
It was Apollo 13, and that was definitely the right choice for him.
Yeah. I would again just say that this role, all it requires of the most of them, and that's why I would disagree if you guys call it a drama, is because more than half their dialogue, I'd say, is a lot of them yelling or just kind of reacting and freaking out. There's a lot of running in here too, and that's just kind of like a minimal thing that you can do as a director. Just kind of like, okay, I need you to be, Hey, remember the 30 scenes that we just did where you were freaking out? Okay, keep that going. We want to keep that going. Then every once in a while, I think they filled out a lot of those dialogue scenes pretty easily. Except for maybe the Philip Seymour Hoffman ones. He seems to be having a good time, and
Um,
maybe even improvising a lot of those.
there is a cut. I also read this on IMDb too, and I'm gonna try to find it. So there's a cut where you see Philip Seymour Hoffman's full genitals.
Yeah.
Why?
So I guess there's a scene in the beginning of the movie where Bill Paxton and his wife, oh shoot, it's not his wife, but his
Melissa.
Melissa, when they show up, and I guess Philip Seymour Hoffman is like sitting with his one leg over his knee, kind of style, and I guess he
Yep.
lifted it up on purpose, and all of it fell out. And I believe on the IMDb trivia, so don't quote me. So if anybody wants to look up, they can. Not only you guys, but listening. Something about it was they didn't catch it, so it was released in theaters like that, and then it was released on VHS like that. But then somebody
Oh, no.
caught it, so then they digitally removed it with DVD video.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Right, but I guess it just all fell out. No, I actually like the drama in this aspect. What I mean by that is we get 30 some years later, so 1995, 96. Joe is a grown woman. Is she younger than us? I think they're supposed to be
She
young.
is. So we did talk about this and we looked it up. Helen Hunt was 33 when this movie came out.
Oh God, I feel
Bill
terrible.
Paxton, yes, Bill Paxton was 41. But yeah, Helen Hunt
Okay.
was 33. So
She's younger than us.
supposed to be our age-ish.
God damn. All right. So yeah, I mean, like so she's grown up to be a storm chaser. She has her ragtag group of storm chasers, and then there's this bad guy group where they're corporate sponsors by, I'm gonna murder the name so Eric can make fun of me. Carrie Elwes, Carrie Elwes.
Yeah.
Is he really a bad guy?
Good question, Jordan.
We were talking
I
about
would-
that.
We did. Who is the villain in this movie?
I think it's him just because, I mean, Bill Paxton made it very clear that he stole his idea, which obviously that's the case, though.
Bill Paxton
I'd say-
is the villain
yeah.
of this movie.
Why is
And
Bill Paxton?
here is why.
Okay.
Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, and Carrie Elwes, they mentioned that they worked in a lab together. And so that's where Bill Paxton says, "You stole my idea, blah, blah, blah." You know, they're in a lab. Who's to say the idea was not the group of them and then they sort of split somehow? Whatever, does not
Okay.
matter. Bill Paxton brings his fiance to get divorce papers from Helen Hunt. Sure, okay, that's fine. It's a little weird, but whatever. And then gets drawn into this whole drama of storm chasing. He doesn't just say, "Honey, maybe you should just sit this one out. I'm going to put you in the path of F3s, F4s, and then an F5. We're going to stick you in the path of major tornadoes and risk your life." And doesn't even think twice
Yeah.
about any of it.
Just says hurry up.
And that's why Bill Paxton is the villain of this movie.
He was reluctant to take her, and I will also go with this. Joe, Helen Hunt, is kind of a jerk in this movie too, because it is alluded that he's been trying to get her to sign these papers time and time again. Because this is April, May maybe time, and he was like, "You're supposed to sign them back in December," and she goes, "I didn't read it in December." So this makes me show, that she doesn't want to divorce him. She doesn't have time for him. She doesn't care. He brings her along because it's like, hurry, hurry, rush, rush, let's go. And then it takes the whole movie. She doesn't even sign the document because they're at the beginning of the movie
Does at
where
the end.
She misses a page, and
Misses the
then
page, thank
by
you.
the time she does do it, Melissa has had enough and leaves Bill Paxton and
Right.
goes off, thankfully.
Right.
Saves
So is-
herself.
So is Bill Paxton really the villain, or is it Joe?
Yes.
Joe is power hungry, right?
Oh, I could say both of them are.
Now,
They're not great people.
Here, I'll ask you this: is because through this movie, which is, by the way, within 24 hours, right from start to finish,
Mhm.
the time period, which I think is something that should be on the list there of movies that take place in a day. Now, given the interactions of everyone and their relationship history, what would you assume about Bill and Joe? How do you think their story is? Because I think that they obviously worked together and they fell in love working together, kind of in that
Hmm.
syndrome, right? Your coworker, and after a while, maybe there was that fight for, I don't know, they just couldn't get along. And you see it in the car a bit more where, oh, back to the same old thing. Oh, I never did this. Oh, well, you never, if you just let it go. And they would just do this back and forth. It seemed very much to me like he was more attacking and she was on the defensive and she's just trying to do her job. And he was just short fused about, geez, about everything. This guy really did seem like he was full of himself and very sure of himself about everything, very cocky. And maybe that's what split them apart. I don't know. Maybe she fell back in love with him because she fell in love with that storm chaser guy. The passion, right, kicks in where she sees him talking to the storm, and wrestling that tornado, and guiding it, telling it where to go. Get over here, tornado. Go left. It's pulling southeast over there.
I do have to disagree. It takes place over 2 days.
Oh, does it?
Because the next day is the F5.
Yeah.
But that was because the drive-through, right?
That was
Like,
the end of the
Yeah. But
But
most of
that was the
it
night.
takes place in the first day, and then overnight is the drive-through, and then the next day is the F5.
now, but okay, because I don't think they ever slept. Because at that drive-through, that's when they found out that the tornado went through the
Meg's.
ants. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then they just went over there to go save her. That house fell apart, and by
Mhm.
that time, it kind of was already on to the next scene there. So I don't know. Maybe if they, the morning of. Whereas the movie
Still the next day.
when we introduced everybody, it was mid-afternoon. So I'm thinking it's less than 24 hours there.
They hit up a lot of towns in a very short period of time. So I'm going to argue with you on this one. It's
Yeah,
a
I'm
2-day
right.
movie. It's not a 1-day movie anymore.
All right.
Also, too,
hold on. Actually, can you prove that or disprove that?
If you let me Google enough.
Most certainly,
Oh, God.
because at the beginning of all that, the people in the lab of Dr. Jonas Miller had said their observation that this is a series of storms they've never seen before. There's a cluster
Mhm.
that it's going to be passing over Kansas, and yeah. So we'll see how that goes. I think that they were just referring to that one storm passing by, and that was probably 24 hours. I'm hoping at least.
Kansas. So they're in Kansas?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma,
Okay.
excuse me. I said Kansas.
Okay, I was like, they're in Kansas?
Yeah,
in this?
I mean, they
obviously-
could have been in Kansas.
No, I did the thing where tornadoes and Wizard of Oz. I fell for it.
Gotcha. You did. While she's looking it up, I actually, I don't think Joe or, oh God, Bill isn't it? Bill Paxton. Yeah.
Billy.
I don't think that Joe is the villain as much as Bill. I think they both are. I mean, like when they were in the car going after that first F1, she was poking him a little bit too. I mean, like she definitely had some zingers in there. I think what kind of got them together is that I think they're both psychotic. I think they both love to throw the chase. I think they both have a death wish. I think that Joe wants to figure out tornadoes because a tornado in F5 took her father from her. So she's been obsessed with tornadoes ever since. That's on face value. And he's is crazy because he's outside after getting into a fist fight, and then he's talking to the sky. My 7-year-old is like, what's he doing, Dad? True story. She goes, what's he doing? And I said, oh, he's talking to the sky. He's figuring out a tornado. She goes, you can do that? So well, we call them weathermen, sweetie. But so I mean, like, I think they're both jerks. And yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just gonna take this movie at face value, right? The bad guy is the guy who was accused of stealing the tech. He had better looking tech, better vehicles. He had better team, more team. This guy is the bad guy. He went out and got corporate sponsors. This guy's a sellout. You know what I mean? So I completely believe when Bill Paxton's like, you stole Dorothy. Like, I believe that. I think that's exactly what happened. So he definitely is the bad guy. And plus, the bad guys don't listen. What happens when the bad guys don't listen?
He dies.
He dies. He doesn't even die as bad as his driver.
No body, no death.
Oh,
His driver gets it right through the face, man.
pummeled by steel.
died instantly, and this guy is flying through the air. Like,
You don't think that's worse?
I
To
don't know.
know that your death is coming?
I don't know if he knew that his death was coming. He was just flying through the air, right? A little bit.
He was in a truck getting thrown around by a tornado, which then drops him and he dies in a fiery crash.
Would you think that your car upon impact would blow up?
No.
In an F5 tornado? Maybe.
Maybe not.
No,
At least I'm going to get crushed or impaled by
Maybe.
flying
Maybe.
debris.
Not like his buddy did.
maybe if something initiated the spark, we didn't start the fire, kept it going. Also, for that, I see one website just saying 2 days, but the Twister Wiki describes this as being over a 24-hour period.
Oh.
Yeah, well. Let's talk about the tornadoes, right? Because those are the heroes. We get the first one, which is the F1 tornado, the weakest of the ones. Definitely the smaller tornadoes look the worst CG-wise. That F1 tornado in the farm field did not look very good.
No, a lot
It
of the
did not
CGI was maybe not the greatest.
It got
this.
better. It
Well,
got
yeah.
better. Because after that, we got an F. Now, see, I'm confused about this movie, and I rewound it a few times afterwards just to kind of make sure. So I thought we were following 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like F scale, right?
Roughly, yeah.
But so we get the first one when they're under the bridge, right? And they
Mhm.
don't get sucked up, right? That's an F1 clearly, right? But
Mhm.
then the Sidewinder, right? When Bill Paxton is like, she's a Sidewinder, right? Was that an F2? And then was the F3 the water spouts, or was the F3 the one later when they do their dramatic scene in the rain and was above the hill? Because is the F4 at the drive-in?
F4 is the drive-through. The F3,
Was that above the hill when they had their dramatic?
yeah, the power lines were coming up.
So in this movie, the F2 was the Sidewinder
Yes.
and the water spouts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Get rid of the water spouts. I don't know why we're doing the water spouts. I actually think that's the weakest part of the movie because everybody's favorite line, right? They're driving cow, another cow. I think it was the same
We're
cow.
learning about the different kinds of tornadoes.
Yep.
This is an educational and informational movie as well, Jordan. You
Which
can play
is-
this on Saturday morning TV.
Which is why Riley probably liked it so much. She was learning while she was watching.
Yeah.
Hey man, that cow part killed for the 7-year-old.
I bet.
It,
They
of course,
kill.
never fails.
It killed. The Sidewinder too was kind of interesting too because like Bill Paxton's driving and it's like she's gonna turn left. And like eventually it turns. How does he know that? Isn't the whole point of Dorothy for them to know that stuff?
I don't even know why they made
No.
Dorothy if they have him.
Right.
No, the point of Dorothy is to find out things like dew point and velocity and all of that
Yeah.
information. The things that
any-
you can't find out from outside the tornado.
Has anybody done research on this before the show or during that has shown that this, not Dorothy itself, but something like a Dorothy actually existed and this is what this is based on? Because it feels like this is some reality.
No, I think all the meteorologists saw this movie and just threw their arms up and it's like, all right, well, I guess we don't have to do anything else. I think we just solved it. I think weather is solved. Everyone, we can go home. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have, Jared. Sorry, sarcasm aside. Because satellites also would probably be a huge step up as well. Like they only
Did have
were talking
satellites in
about.
96?
I mean, of course they did, but now there are probably more way up there that are constantly monitoring, not just taking pictures. There's probably some that are dedicated to some patterns of wind, some dedicated to others of just taking I don't know meteorology, but I'm sure they have better high-tech satellites now.
So was this movie, so like do we think or do we absolutely know that this movie was kind of like a catalyst or maybe something happened like in 93 or 94 in real life to like make this basic plot? Because I feel like this is something that scientists will come up with.
I
You
got
found
this
out?
for you.
You got it.
During the 1970s and 80s, groups of scientists developed Toto, which was basically a steel drum full of sensors that they could do the same thing as they did in this movie. It was retired in 1987, but it inspired screenwriters Michael Crichton and Anne-Marie Martin to develop stories around similar devices.
Michael Crichton wrote this, Jurassic Park?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I said it inspired him to develop stories around a similar device.
I did.
I don't know who wrote that.
Michael Crichton and Anne Marie Martin wrote this
Oh,
movie.
then yes. Yep, this is a Michael Crichton movie.
Oh, good God. Okay. I mean, like, so does that mean that it's good then? Because it's good. I like this movie.
Just because Michael Crichton wrote it doesn't mean it has to be good.
He wrote Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, the book, is very different than Jurassic Park, the movie.
I know. I like the book.
Okay.
I've read that. Well, it took me 2 years, but I read it.
I was just listening to a podcast today that was comparing books to movies, and that was one that they were talking about. It depends if you like dinosaurs. If you like dinosaurs, you like the movie better.
But not the
If you
book.
don't care, then the book is the more important one because the book does not really focus on the dinosaurs as much.
It's more
It kind of
sciencey.
focuses on the science and the math and all of that.
And also, they blow up the island at the end, too.
Right. Yeah.
Spoiler.
You ask if it's good or not, but again, a reminder that Michael Crichton, again, a big fan of a lot of his stuff, but not everything is a hit. He also wrote Timeline,
Yes.
Congo,
Oh yeah.
Was Congo good? I don't remember. That's a
No, it
Killer
was not.
Gorilla
Amy,
movie,
Good
right?
Gorilla,
Ah.
Right.
Was it
Tim
it wasn't
Curry.
Jason Bateman.
In,
Who
in
is the main
Congo,
character? Yeah.
there was Laura Linney. It was in it. That guy. From Nip Tuck, right? Dylan Walsh,
That's who I'm trying to think of. Yeah, Dylan Walsh.
long hair. Dylan
Anyway,
Walsh.
we have really.
Yeah, we're sideways. So
Okay.
now we go to the F3 part, and this is where the big drama comes up because this is when Bill confronts Joe that she's going crazy because she tries to get Dorothy up to F3 above the hill. And he was doing that big monologue of killing yourself will not bring your dad back.
You're killing yourself, Joe.
That's kind of stupid line, but it's still awesome. It's like killing yourself is not going to bring your dad. Well, of course not.
No.
We haven't talked about him besides the genitals. Philip Seymour Hoffman is a gem in this movie, by the way.
Yep, he's the comic
Mhm.
relief which you need to have to break tension in thriller movies like this. Happens quite often. Randy Quaid, of course, in Independence Day. as
Right,
we
that's
all
true.
know. Yeah, or just basically anything Will Smith, I guess.
Eric or Sarah, can you tell me one of Philip Seymour Hoffman's first role where he got his brains ate?
Dawn of the Dead.
That's a very good guess. It's a zombie movie. It is a little early 90s movie where he was the bully titled My Boyfriend's Back.
Oh, nice. I do remember that movie.
Yes, he was the bully and he gets hit in the head in the school and his brains are falling out of his head and the boyfriend eats the brains.
That's awesome.
Yep, that's Philip Seymour Hoffman. Let's talk about the ragtag crew here. I don't know anybody. Everybody's
the scent of a woman. Go ahead.
everybody's a stereotype, right? So we got the rear, who was Philip Seymour Hoffman, and his job is to. That's the thing I want to talk to you guys. What is his job? What's everybody's job?
So there's a lot of characters in the storm chasing team.
Right.
I don't know what most of them do. There's the guy who gives directions. There's Philip Seymour Hoffman. There's the guy who drives the truck. Like, I don't really know what any of them do.
Yeah, that's what I want to know because I'm like, what exactly is Philip Seymour Hoffman doing? What's his job?
Yeah. Well, okay. So he has the big old van with a satellite on it, right? I think that there, if I were to guess, because I think that there's like almost like 10 people, right? Something like that. I would imagine is, and maybe the one other guy are like Doppler. There's one probably
Okay.
is cued into local
Mhm.
weather, and one
Yep.
probably weather. The other one probably has like a satellite link or to like the lab and getting a Doppler effect. I think the one guy, Alan Ruck, Cameron
Mm-hmm.
Who's that? The guy in the truck?
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
Oh,
Yeah,
Rab-
he's Cameron from Ferris Bueller.
Okay. Yep.
He might just be,
He's the direction guy.
Yeah, he's a director, kind of just making sure everyone's planned and that's
Mhm.
he's calmed up, ready to go. There's probably a few other people that have special into their tornado parts. One is maybe in charge of looking at Dorothy readouts, right?
That's what that chick was doing at the end.
How about we just say they all? There's a lot of equipment involved, and they all maybe are doing the same thing, if not too far from each other, and they're all just monitoring all the different types of equipment. I would imagine that some of their jobs have probably been replaced just due to
Nowadays,
convenience and
nowadays, map guy.
Yeah, you probably just have everything done in one van now, right?
Probably. Mm-hmm. So then, with that, at the beginning of the movie, after Joe's father's death, we get into this lab, and then I've figured out, now if this is true, that Jonas, right? That's his name, the bad guy, right? Jonas.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Jonas.
Dr. Jonas is with that lab, and then also Joe's team is with that lab. Like,
I thought it wasn't a lab; it was like a news station or a meteorological.
Yeah, that was the severe weather network. But then there was and they cut to the satellite before. But that was just cutting to the national severe storm network or something like that.
Or like
because
NOAA
Jonas's people are talking to one of the dudes that had a speaking part during the F2 when it was sidewinding.
They alluded, at least this is what I thought, and maybe you guys can correct me on this, but I had thought that Dr. Jonas Miller was doing the same thing, but he went to corporate, right? Instead of working on grants, or I guess he is on grant, but he's basically saying that whatever I find is your property, whereas the other storm chasers, whatever they find is theirs to the highest bidder.
So they're mercenaries.
I think they're both out there the same thing.
They're independent.
But yeah, they both, one is doing it for the love of the science of it, and the other one's just doing to get the paycheck because he knows that there's an opportunity here to cash in. If you get this information from a tornado, you can take that and write a book, sell a book, go to your whoever sponsored you, and you get to be, your new face.
Gotcha. Well, then we get into, I would say, maybe the big scene. I don't know if it's because the big scene's at 5, but it was a pretty big scene when they go to the drive-in. Mm-hmm. I mean, has anybody here been in Universal Studios Florida?
Yeah. Oh no, not Universal.
This was a ride. The drive-in part. Well, it wasn't much of a ride. It was a show. I went down there with my brother and my father. This was probably 98, 99. And this was the Twister the ride. And you stood, well, it was kind of like a stadium seating, if you will, but you were standing, right? And the stage was the drive-in theater. Looked just like a set. And then they would have fake tornadoes that had no power going through the set and destroying everything, right? And it was supposed to be like, oh, this is what it's like instead of a tornado, that kind of thing. Of course, this is where everybody our age has probably seen The Shining for the first time, right? This was a big deal on the screen. No,
not for me. I'm pretty sure I'd already seen the Shining by then.
I don't know what this movie was.
Well,
I had not seen The Shining when I saw Twister.
I was in the theater.
I didn't see The Shining until I was an adult. I think during the pandemic, I watched The Shining for the first time.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
During the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
When?
Oh.
Up in that cabin up north?
No, it was before that.
Oh, okay.
No, I had seen it by that point.
So your 30s?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
First time I'd
sidebar.
seen The Shining.
What'd you think?
Oh, I liked it. It was interesting.
It's about faking the moon landing. You know that, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's
Keep
true.
moving.
It's true. The mysterious middle room. Why was the manager in there? Why is there a window behind him if he's in the middle of the hotel?
Who knows?
What? Stanley Kubrick's trying to tell you. Anyways.
Crazy.
The little boy is wearing a crochet Apollo 11 shirt.
The carpet
Sweater.
matches the launching pads in Houston.
Gosh,
don't you see it now?
Let's keep moving.
No, actually, I'm bringing up The Shining because I didn't know what this was, right? I was in the movie theater with my dad, and I didn't know, right? I am 96, so I'm
10. 9.
No, I'm 9. I was born in 87, so 9. I was 9. And I was like, these little girls, this little boy's riding his big wheel, and he turns the corner of these girls. And then the next time we see that screen in the background, the girls are murdered. And I was like, what's that? And he goes, oh, it's The Shining. I have it at home. So I watched The Shining, and I was bored. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand the guy and the dog. That was weird. All work and no play made Jack a dull boy. It was over my head.
Are we reviewing The Shining today or Twister?
He likes The Shining more than Twister.
No, I was just.
And he
Oh
likes
my goodness.
this little clip in The Shining more than Twister. That's how bad this movie was. Right?
No,
Jordan?
I'm sorry. I went on a rant. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just trying.
That's right. You were captivated by the incredible acting from our main characters here.
Haven't you? Okay, how about this? Haven't you guys ever had that experience in your life, though? Since we're talking about Twister,
where I
like
was
where you see
captivated
a
by Helen
movie,
Hunt?
where you see a movie, and then like there's like a real movie that's playing in the background, and you want to know what that movie is, and you try to figure out. That's what it
Sure.
was for me.
Yeah, actually, I'll give you one. I was watching Belly, and in the beginning, if you remember that Nas and DMX,
Yeah.
and at the beginning of the movie, I think when they went into DMX's kind of big mansion apartment, he was playing Gummo on his projector screen TV, and
Yeah, come on.
yeah, they showed that a little clip of Gummo, and I was like, "What the hell kind of movie is this?" And that's how I was introduced to Harmony Kane completely. Was by that. So
That's what I was just getting at. But there's a scene that we skipped before we get to the drive-in. I do apologize. I want to talk about it. Is the aunt, right? And whatever the town is. She was a fun character, nice old lady that you knew that was going to be in danger. Of course, she has the famous line, "Wow, was it Meg? Is that her name?
Meg.
Wow,
Yep.
Mhm.
wow, Meg, this is great beef. Where'd you find this beef? You see my cows out back? No. Oop.
I
Great
thought that
line.
was fun.
Great line. Now, here's a debate. I did not put the subtitles on. When they're explaining the F5 to Melissa, did the guy in the truck say it's the thumb of God?
finger. I heard finger.
I thought he said it was the thumb of God, but it was the finger of God.
Geez, I really don't know. And you got me second
Bec-
guessing now, Jordan.
It is finger of God.
It's the finger of God because they're describing that an F5 tornado is a mile long wide. It's wide. It's huge.
Yeah.
Swanson had an F5 tornado in 1909.
I think
Went through-
it's weird that these group of storm chasers was talking about the whole F scale, and then poor Melissa, who again they were leading her into this question, setting her up, and she goes, "What's an F5?" And they all stop as if they're surprised that, that's weird. We described her F4, F2, F3, and F1. Why would she even ask about an F5? It's like why they just
I don't think they
surprised
act
by it.
like that.
Because they did. They all froze to be like,
Well, they froze because it's the finger of God, Eric.
well, is there an F6? Like,
No.
I don't. Well, then it's like I don't know anything about tornadoes. They seem like surprised that this person who doesn't know anything about tornadoes asked about a tornado. Whatever. I guess another small gripe I have about the movie because
I think their action was genuine because another thing. Oh, that's right. Because in the movie they even said that she says, "Has any of you ever seen an F5?" And they're like, "Only one of us." And that's when she was taking a very sexy shower for some reason.
Because
part of
she
the contract.
was very muddy.
I know, but that was a very sexy shower for no reason. Come on.
I had to get rid of those bangs. That's why.
Yeah.
Just telling you, it was a very sexy shower. Yeah, but I liked Meg. By the way, that's a real town, and if you go to that town, they have a Twister museum.
They do.
Yes. So we get the infamous, like I said, Shining scene, blah, blah, blah. I was bummed about this. I don't know why this one's famous. Is it because you don't see the tornado and that's why? Because you don't know? Because
night.
Yeah, you get the lightning, and the lightning lights it up every once in a while, and it's like the scary thing.
Yeah.
It's coming for you, and they don't know because there's no system that allows them to find out early.
now this is 96 in our timeline here, since we're talking about timelines before, right? They've already had this, right? They've already had like warning systems. Like
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, like you live out in the country. I grew up in the country. I don't remember tornado sirens when I was a kid. I know that they have them now where my parents live, where I
Right.
grew up. But when I was little, maybe not little, but I remember being 10 years old and my mom sending me upstairs to keep an eye on the weather because she was downstairs with all the daycare kids. And she's like, if the sky turns green, come downstairs immediately and tell me. And then
Right when it
eventually,
goes
we
green.
actually did have a tornado come through our backyard and ripped up a huge tree. But it was just a little, like maybe an
Yeah.
F1 or something. But
A little
yeah,
little tiny F1 that
just a
will,
little one.
yeah, just a little
Yeah,
one that goes 100 and some miles an
little
hour
tree.
still. A little tree. So F4 destroys the drive-in, destroys Meg's town. It looks like a bomb went through. Great set, right? The one thing I will say about this movie is that I do like its set pieces. You can definitely tell it's soundstagey. Like the beginning when Joe as a kid is running out of the house to the storm cellar with her parents. Definitely soundstage, but it was fun. And this is where they find after they save Meg and the dog that, oh, we got to put wings on the balls.
Yes.
They can fly. So we're going to take Pepsi cans and really emphasize that people have cut their fingers and make it fly. And they only have 2 left. And this is where the F5 shows up. Fun fact, I did not know that an F5 was skinny when it came down. I thought it was huge.
Well, yeah, I
I
guess
mean,
tornadoes
all
have to,
tornadoes can grow.
they gotta build momentum, right?
Right.
He's a grower, not a shower.
Hey,
Yes. Hey. Well, I'm just going all the way to the end, right? Because I forgot about that. But when they are ridiculously inside the funnel and they're looking up, it's as big as an F1. It's just the speed of it that makes it like pick up and grow so much.
so nice.
You
of that
remember I'm talking about?
Yeah, no. I was just saying that's a nice that tornado to let them live.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the Independence Day stuff, right? This is the speed stuff. This is the craziness where they're getting so close to this F5. This is, I mean, they're close. They're
Yeah,
not even being. They're
Yeah.
so close.
they're very
on
close.
and then she's like, "What is that?" He's like, "What's that?" It was this tanker truck, right? Strictly from the trailer. That was fun, exciting, right? You could tell it wasn't CG when parts were, but it was fun, and it explodes and they go through it. They go through a house. I mean, come on. I guess we're going in.
Oh my
That
God.
is a great advertisement for that truck because that
Yeah.
thing makes it through a power line falling on it. It drives through the tanker on fire. It drives through a house. And the only thing that stops it is because they drive it through a cornfield into a tornado.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true. You don't see Ford doing that.
It bought or it fought the 2 tornadoes, right? Did you already say that? That it got spun around in
No.
2
The water
systems?
Yeah.
spout.
Multiple tornadoes. It survived.
So that means
I
it's able to stay grounded even when 18 wheelers get picked up. It will stay down.
Yeah, that's crazy too. That's a tanker because as soon as it hits, it explodes, and it's like they're not getting picked up. That's nuts.
Yeah, exactly. They're able
Yeah.
to run away. Their car gets picked up, and they go, "You better run!" And they're
Right.
gonna outrun. They're gonna outrun a tornado. I just
Look,
saying that out loud.
I know this is everybody's complaint with the movie that they're going to outrun a tornado, but at this point we've earned it, right? I mean, like if
That
you
is
just go,
not the major complaint about this movie. There's a lot more.
you're not complaining. You're not giving me complaints. I think this has been a pretty smooth show. What's your complaints?
Well, there's just the unrealism for the tornado. I guess we could go off, into details about that. But the bigger one, the finer one that everyone would say is that if it's an F5 that for some reason chooses to leave a house standing, chooses to leave a fence standing, and it chooses to go over our 2 main characters who use a leather belt strap to tie to some lead
Water
pipe.
pipe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
The pipe that goes down 30 feet.
And they only just get a little raised up and kind of sucked up like the vacuum, and then it just goes away, and that's just they don't get hit, they don't get impaled with anything. They wouldn't. I believe Sarah
They're
looked up.
not ripped
Yeah,
apart.
physics would have them being ragdolled as they're kind of hanging on that before they get completely ripped in half. Probably that's even if, by the way, which it
They're
wouldn't.
they're
The
super
leather,
dead.
yeah, wouldn't hold on and last. That it would just get ripped.
And the pipes have fittings, so the pipe actually would have been ripped apart because the part that they tied to did not go down 30 feet. There was a fitting that went on to the pipe that went down 30 feet.
Okay, so you guys are giving me logic, but you're giving me logic in a movie that doesn't have logic. So, I mean, don't you think we earned this part?
No,
I
no.
mean, right? Right?
You're right, Jordan. And at that part, this is early on in the movie when the logic escaped this movie, is when the fun begins. Because then, and Sarah can vouch for this, I started giving the tornadoes voices.
Oh,
You did.
yes. Can you elaborate a little bit more or
I'm
not?
gonna come get you. I'm gonna come right at you. You better go in that check, cause I'm gonna come get you. I'm gonna get sucked up. Oh no, I didn't go. Oh no, you beat me. I'm gonna
It's
go
like
away. I'll get you
a
next
modified Bill
time.
Cosby.
Nice, a modern
I
tornado
wasn't
Bill
trying to go
Cosby.
over that. I'm just going for like a
He wasn't.
just.
It was a very like dad voice.
Oh, I'm a tornado. I'm gonna come get you real fast. You better not run
Yeah.
away from me. Where are you?
Oh,
Oh no, you beat me.
Yeah,
I'll
where's
be
my
exactly.
back as it goes up in the air.
look, I'm not getting into a part where
I was the same tornado that got your father. I'll be back.
Oh, that's funny. Twister the Revenge. That'd be great. And I don't know what it is because I'll be honest with you. I went into this movie thinking, bless HBO Max, by the way, for having it. I went into this thinking I wasn't going to like it. And this is not a popcorn rating yet, but I'm just like, okay, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm not a teenager. Like, I'm a grown man. I have seen tornadoes. Like, okay, this is ridiculous, right? Like, you're gonna like, yeah. But
I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a grown up.
Kevin
Thank you for
McAllister over
stating
there.
that.
Yeah, I'm not afraid anymore.
I still get scared by the furnace. No, I was thinking, okay, arms folded, whatever. This is about a crazy tornadoes, but it's still ridiculous. So I guess I don't have a complaint with them running through the cornfield. Granted, I was in a cornfield on Friday. Sideway, we had our parade here in town, and we went to go get corn from the local farmer. He was giving us 12 stalks for free.
Hold on. Did you say sideway meaning segue? Because when you say you had a cornfield and then
Yes,
sideways,
Sideways.
like
Yeah.
that's a saying. Yeah.
That was me because I'm thinking tornado. But segue, we
Which
went
way
to
were you running? Was it backwards? Go ahead.
left. So anyway, if you guys have never been in a cornfield, Sarah, I'm sure you have, right? Because you live in the country. You know exactly what I'm going to say. The farmer said, yeah, can you get 12 stalks, not ears, stalks for your float, and going through that stuff and actually like touching like the leaves, they're sharp.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff is heavy. They have like roots on top of roots kind of thing. Like there's no way they're opening their doors
No,
for the
no.
truck.
I did make that point. Like they're supposedly keeping these doors open while they're going through the corn, and then they're supposed to jump before they get squished by the door closing.
Yeah,
Like, it's not believable.
But it's crazy, right? Because I've been through a cornfield, so I get it. But again, though, at this point, though, Joe's dad has died from an F5. This is tornado coming back for revenge, if you will say that. But it's laughable. But but I feel that we've earned it for this kind of.
I'm gonna arrest until I get your whole family. Har 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 har.
I just how about this? I have seen worse, and I don't hate it. I don't hate that they were being leather strapped to a pipe that was a fitting 30 feet, whatever, because we got a cool shot of them seeing what inside an F5 tornado looks like. And then we get the big, huge reveal of Dorothy's working. Woo!
Yay!
And I will say, though, that I wish Joe's truck didn't get destroyed because that Jeep was pretty cool, that yellow Jeep. That
Jeep truck?
Yeah, that Jeep truck was pretty cool. And God, I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, I don't think it's that bad. So, I mean, I guess you guys want to get into the popcorn.
Go right into it. It seems like you're kind of setting it
I'm
up.
giving this a large. I'm straight giving this a large because it's fun. You know what? I said to you before a few podcasts ago, Eric, that sometimes I feel like a medium is kind of a cop out, which I don't ever want to get rid of her medium bag rating, but like. I don't know, like this movie's not small. This movie's entertaining. This movie's fun. This movie brought back a lot of nostalgic memories. I'm not going into a movie that's called Twister, which is about tornadoes that don't have personalities, and they're supposed to be the villain, if you will. I'm going into this. I'm going to this having fun. This is a fun, stupid movie. And I think it does not deserve the hate that it gets. Also, the soundtrack is awesome. Another segue, friends and I were driving to Cleveland around college time, and we're driving through a bad storm, and somebody blared Humans Being by Van Halen. Brought back a lot of memories because they play the song in the movie. So it's fun. It's really fun. I'm actually excited to see Twisters. I'm kind of stoked
Yeah.
about.
We'll see how that
Uh,
goes, huh?
We have seen a lot worse. Eric, we reviewed Sharknado.
Yeah.
So, we have seen worse. But for nostalgia purposes, for just a fun, turn your brain off and chew on popcorn, I think this is fine. I think it's a large, enjoy it. So, Sarah, what is your popcorn rating for Twister?
I think it's a solid medium for me. I do enjoy this movie, but it's another one where, as an adult, when I'm watching it with a critical eye, I am asking myself some of the bigger questions and wondering about the answers more than I used to. I'm not just sitting back and enjoying it as a movie. And so maybe with the movie guy's lens on,
Yeah.
I'm more likely to give it a different score than I would if I was just watching it for purely entertainment. So I'm giving it a medium. It's fun. It's silly. Don't expect to learn any real scientific facts from it. I still maintain that Bill Pullman is Bill Paxton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which one? Bill Paxton, thank you. Is the villain. But it's a fun little date movie,
Okay. Eric, what is your popcorn rating for Twister?
I really do agree with both of you. If I had the ultra critical lens on, I probably would give it a medium to say like, oh, this isn't, supposed to be and it's logical. But given the time and where it was released, this is again peak 90s movie. This is a senseless kind of plot. Enjoy the explosions, enjoy the big bass and the Dolby 5 surround sound or whatever, and buckle up, enjoy the ride. That's really all this was. I think it speaks, as we were in this conversation, a few things need to be mentioned. Again, because this movie, as silly as it was, I was having fun with it. Obviously, if I'm watching it from a point where like I'm adding dialogue to it, or just having fun with it, I'm having fun with this movie. This movie obviously had a cultural enough impact to where it has its own museum in Wichita, whatever the hell, Oklahoma. If it has that, and we're still talking about it, obviously years later as this pivotal part. There was a spin-off that came of this called The Night of the Twisters. Did you know that, starring Devon Sawa?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
What?
Yeah.
Not good.
There's a quote in that movie that actually we as a family joke about inside. Sarah, you have to bring it up to my dad next time. But Devon Sawa says something about like that night changed everybody's lives, and I think about it quite a bit. That was it. It was like towards the end of the movie after the Twisters came and ganged up and bullied everybody. But this obviously leaves a huge mark in pop culture. Like this has left an imprint, and even more so if Riley is watching this. I think this is a fantastic introduction. You can watch this as a family. This used to be a thriller, or if you want to even call it a scary movie, but now this is maybe something you can just kind of, watch with your 6-year-old, 7-year-old now, and have them introduced to the dangers of green skies and tornadoes. Tell them to take cover. This movie is fun. There are a few gripes I have it besides it being the illogical part, but I don't know if it did feel a little bit longer than an hour 53. This is what IMDb says the runtime was. Did it need to be an hour 53? Do you think you
Hour
guys?
and a half.
Yeah. It's like, do you think you guys could have shaved an extra 10 or 15 off of it?
I think you could have cut out one of the tornadoes. It didn't need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They could have cut one out, and it would have been fine.
I would even argue if I can go as far to get rid of Melissa altogether.
Yeah, she was no reason for. Was she a sex therapist? They said she was a reproductive therapist.
Yeah, she was a sex therapist.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so unless like she would, I don't know, have a fling or something with Philip Seymour Hoffman at the end, and they had to be a joke where she's working through maybe their something. But either way, I don't see this character really bringing anything to the movie other than highlighting kind of what a douche Bill is in this entire movie.
Yep.
and maybe that's what the goal of it was. But Bill definitely does seem very, very, very selfish and more like, all right, well, what do I want? Forget Joe because obviously I'm going to move to the city and do my own thing. Forget Melissa because, oh wait, I forgot what it was like to chase these storms again. And he just, yeah. So, that enforces Sarah's villain theory there.
Well, remember though, his only motivation to stay was because Jonas stole his idea. That's the only motivation. He said, I give you one day, and I'm gone.
I'll give you for the period of this movie that takes over 24 hours.
So what's your rating then?
I said a large, didn't I?
A large. No,
you did not.
Oh, I didn't. I was building up to it. But not out of content, but out of what it's left behind, out of its achievement. That how many, I think that this movie may have kicked in a new era of like the natural disaster movies.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them came after this. Dante's Peak, Volcano. Yeah. A lot of them were volcano related.
There's a few of them, but there was a few other ones too, of like Apocalypse, and I'm sure we could pull it out and get that list. But it does feel that Twister was the one that was the leader in this. It probably had a big old box office. Where's the numbers here? Do you guys have the box office numbers here?
Nope.
I'm sure I can pull it up here. Here we go. Budget is $92 million and grossed opening weekend $41 million.
I mean, 96. That's not bad.
For 96 worldwide, it made $500 million.
$500 million in 96?
Yeah, just short of 500. 949 is the gross worldwide.
All right.
And that's not too shabby.
It's amazing it's taken them this long to make a sequel. You know what? You said something a little bit ago that made me think of something that we're saying goodbye or whatever. You said something about, never mind. I lost on that one because I was going to segue into, I can't believe we're coming to the end of Nostalgia Extravaganza. We got one more episode to go.
But see, what were some other ones? Deep Impact, right? Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
That was the adult one. Deep Impact was the boring adult one when nothing happened for the last 5 minutes.
Elijah Wood was in that one.
Nobody cares about Deep Impact.
No, because Armageddon was better.
Yeah, Armageddon had the action.
Perfect Storm.
That was 2000.
Which is after 96.
I know, but it was years later.
Yes, 4 years.
Don't sass me.
4 whole years.
It's a long time in Kid World.
It's a statute of limitations on movie genres here, yeah.
Hey, in Kid World, it's a long time. 96 is a far way along from 2000 in Kid World.
Yes. Yeah, I guess you have to sometimes wait that long for Jafar to make his return, huh?
Right. So we're recording Twister here, right? So, of course, we're in September for this review. But then we got one more in October. I mean, this is our 3rd year doing Nostalgia Extravaganza. We're coming to an end.
Isn't our 4th year?
Nope. 3rd.
You guys did sex comedies.
I'm talking with you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Yes, my 3rd year.
Yes.
Yeah, that first year was a practice round, huh?
It was. Do we want to wait to announce what we're going to do? We're going to wait.
Yeah, we're going to definitely wait.
We're going to wait. But, of course, like always, after the end of October, November is when we get our wrap up. So everybody get to hear what our review is. And no more children's movies either, right? Goofy movie was the last one for our Nostalgia Extravaganza of cartoons. I'm sorry. This is it, right? We're 96. We are around 9-10 years of age, right? We get one more big one, and here we go. But check us out at movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Check us on Instagram. Sarah, where can we find us on Instagram?
At Movie Guys Pod.
Movie Guys Pod. You can find us on Instagram. Talk to us there. We are starting our Instagram and making it awesome and getting into 2023. Jordan's confused, so Sarah's helping me with that. Why I'm doing this, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm doing that.
I know, great visuals always come over on podcasts well.
Great visual.
Jordan is pretending to type with just his pointer fingers.
Right, because we're not a visual podcast. So there we go. But like always, check us out on those websites and also wherever you get your podcast from. We are on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Apple Podcasts. So thank you so much for joining me, Eric and Sarah. And we'll be back next month for one more episode of Nostalgia Extravaganza. Have a good night. So last night we're getting ready to watch Twister. This is all true. I can't make this up because you two know me very well. And Gina says, "Do you want popcorn?" And I said, "Yeah, popcorn's cool." So she hid it from me because I've never done it. She pulled out the popcorn you put in a stove and you shake it with the styrofoam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
the
The
stovetop.
the tinfoil one.
Right, the tinfoil. And Eric, you and I are so on the same wavelength. I'm like, "Oh my God, that's from Scream."
Yeah.
Right? And Gina's like, "What?" I was like, "Nothing." And then I was like, "I want to cook this." And she's like, "You ever done this before?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "Okay, well, you got to put it on, turn it on, and you got to keep on shaking it."
Mm-hmm.
I said,
in your hand.
"Oh, okay." So I turn it on high, and the girls, Gina is on my left, Rise on my right. I'm just like standing here, it's on high. And I'm going, just shaking it, kind of smiling, like this is like Scream. This is like Scream, like, what you making? Popcorn, just like doing that, and nothing's happening. And I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Right? And Gina's like, no, just shake it, right? So I'm going shaking it harder, and she's like, no, like just like give like a jingle, like, oh, okay. So I'm doing that, and then it's all of a sudden the sizzling starts to happen, and then it starts to like get a little pop, and it scared me a little bit, right? Because the pop, right, first pop, and I was like, oh, evidently the top part that is on top of the tin foil, you're supposed to peel off for the instructions. But I
And that's
peeled.
what allows it to expand.
You left the
right?
paper on?
I did
Oh,
not. I
Jordan.
peeled all of it off. So when I peeled all of it off, the tin foil was still on it, right? But I peeled the paper off that the right side of the tin foil was exposed. So popcorn was flying out of the right side,
Oh.
falling into the gas stove, and popcorn was literally on fire. I'm just like, am I doing it right, Gina? Am I doing it right? Gina's like, turn it off. So she turns it off, and she puts it into the sink and puts water on it. And I was like, well, thank God we have real popcorn. Act 2, extra movie theater butter. Let me put this in the microwave where it belongs. Boop, done. But yeah, that's my first time. I'm never making that. That is so stupid. Whoever invented that is an idiot. Like,
I can't believe you did that. So
that's a true story.
I know how to cook it because I've never actually cooked it. I've watched my sisters both burn their hands on both it because I don't know if they've changed it. I'd imagine that they probably didn't, but it was that wire handle on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a wired handle.
And obviously, heat makes fools of us all, thermodynamics, right? And the handle got hot, and then they grabbed it and got a little Home Alone burn on their palm there. But it was one of those where you're supposed to just leave it on
Mhm.
under the fire there for a little bit until you start seeing steam or smoke, and then you have to shake.